Mic check.
Mic check.
3, 2, 1. Learning about certain candidates, learning about their platforms,
Leaving for college.
like mainstream news networks, certain like economic systems, historical systems.
No evidence of widespread voter fraud. Educate yourself on what's going on in the world.
Oh, that sucked.
How you doing, Evan?
I'm doing okay. Just to fill you guys in on what just happened, we just recorded a 30 minute episode. Camera issues, but that's okay. We're gonna keep this short, basically go through everything that we talked about. And if you want to start that intro, let's get it going.
I mean, hey, this is the first episode of Cup of Joe. If you're watching this, let's get a cup of coffee, maybe a water. Caffeine isn't always the greatest.
It is 7:47, so we're having water
Maybe
today.
water. Yeah.
We're having water
But
today.
if it's the morning, grab a cup of coffee maybe.
Yeah.
Cup of tea.
Just stay hydrated. We wanna spend this episode first talking about Amy Coney Barrett's being sworn into the Supreme Court. Senate voted I think 52 to 49. There was one Republican who voted no. All Democrats voted no, of course. I think the thing I want to say about that is why.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all kind of wondering.
Why?
I mean,
like,
yeah, it's
a week away from
it's
election
definitely very hypocritical of Trump and all the Republicans.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it's extremely hypocritical to say to Obama that you cannot appoint a Supreme Court justice
months before he was leaving.
We need to wait for whoever gets elected.
Yeah.
We need to wait to see.
Yeah.
But yet everyone who was saying that at the time is now saying the exact opposite because Trump has the choice now.
Yep.
Which is, I would say, just wrong.
And the problem is those people who are saying that, the people who back in 2016, 2016, I always get that mixed up, said Obama couldn't do it are now the ones who hold a majority, which, it sucks. But what happens now is there's a 5-3 in the Supreme Court, 5 conservative judges and 3 Democratic judges. And so any progress that basically progress is stripped away until if the Democrats win the Senate and they can expand the Supreme Court, which would be great, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, I feel like for those of you who don't know much about Amy Coney Barrett, she is definitely not a middle ground.
She's a quote-unquote originalist.
She is part of organizations that do not support pro-choice, that basically are just all conservative.
Yeah.
And, I mean, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, I think we can all agree that there should not be a 5-3 ratio in the Supreme Court. And especially...
Not right now.
Yeah. And I just feel like if he had maybe nominated somebody who's a little more of a middle ground, I feel like people wouldn't be as surprised because that's something that a responsible leader would do.
Yeah. But
The whole point is to represent the people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Republican and Democrat, that splits our population in half basically.
Yeah. Well,
If we look
if we look at last year's election,
the majority of America is Democrat who voted.
Liberal, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's just I feel like no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you can agree that we shouldn't have that much of a bias in our Supreme Court at all.
Especially when it comes to, if we look at it like this, she has come out and said, there's certain things like Brown v. Board of Education that don't require any further adjustments or changes. But with Roe v. Wade, she says that there's too much in it that needs to be adjusted or changed, and I think she fails to understand that Roe v. Wade, I mean, I'm guessing she understands what it stands for, but the problem is lots of people just see Roe v. Wade as a woman's right to get an abortion, but it's actually so much more than that, and that's the problem. Because all this progression we've made can go away like that, because she now joins a conservative court, and she is a devout Catholic, who is using her religious beliefs to make her decisions, which has been going on in American politics forever. But it's ridiculous to me how a week away from election, the Senate allows this to happen, and they push for it to happen when Trump could get reelected and then have another opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
RBG just passed away.
Yeah.
Just passed away. Why not wait to see the outcome when people have already voted? It doesn't make any sense. They're not listening to the people.
It does not make any sense. And in my
this
opinion,
isn't democracy.
That I feel like it is disrespectful to replace RBG with somebody of Amy Coney Barrett's caliber. That obviously is my opinion. Some people might have a different opinion on that, but I mean, yeah, I just feel like there should have been more of a middle ground there, more even things out a little bit more. No matter what side of the party you're on, you can agree that we need balance in our government.
Yeah. I think it's less of RBG because
I mean,
we could get into RBG. I mean, obviously she was a great woman. Personally, I'm not going to get into that right now because she did just pass away. But it is a very dramatic shift in beliefs and ideals. And it just further established Trump as a president who packed the court with conservative judges, which some may consider the best thing he's done as president. Personally, I don't think that's a good thing. And as we get closer to election day, and like I said, so many people have already voted, so to make this decision is just a complete, it completely fails to stay within the limits of this democracy that we so triumphantly promote and fight for.
I agree.
But the people who are in power are trying to silence the voters, who we can go into voting and how our democracy isn't technically a democracy based on how many regulations are set on locations, areas that voting is in, but that's for another episode. We can get into that, but this just further proves that our democracy is at stake here with Donald Trump, and change needs to occur now.
And on that note, I mean, if you're able to vote in this election,
please vote.
Make a plan. Get out and vote if you haven't already. Go to your polling location. Make sure you're registered to vote.
Inform yourself on the candidates you are voting for.
Not just the presidential one.
Yeah.
Get a sample ballot.
Do not write in Kanye West. Please do not write in Kanye West.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think we can save this because she now can hear cases right away.
Yeah. I feel like we'll go into more depth on that in another episode. Hold on.
We're gonna catch you guys later on Cup of Joe. This was a quick episode. Our first episode, and we hope you guys continue to watch and enjoy. So
give us a like, subscribe.
Yeah. All right. See ya.